Welcome to Autochair. Today we're going to show you how the Milford Person Lift should be used to get someone in and out of the vehicle with ease. So we have the power cable that connects directly into the socket on the mounting post in the vehicle. We have the on and off switch at the top, and then the handset for up and down. There are also the emergency switches on the side of the unit, one for up, one for down. Lower the lift onto the mounting post in the vehicle. Plug the unit into the socket on the side of the mounting post. Now get the extension arm and spreader bar from the pockets in the bag. The extension arm connects in first by sliding into the end of the unit, and then the spreader bar slots into the end of the extension arm. So now we remove the sling from the carry bag. So this is one of our standard slings that I've already set for Luis. So as a general rule, the arm straps should be kept as short as possible. Leg straps should have approximately half of the length at least, but obviously each sling is tailored for each individual customer. So I'm now going to show you how to put a sling around someone when they're already sat in the wheelchair. So it's a case of asking the client if they can lean forwards in their wheelchair. If not, they may need some assistance. So if we can just lean forwards so that I can then lower the sling down their back. So I get the sling and it's just lower it between the person's back and the back of the wheelchair. Then get the leg straps and bring them between the person and the armrests. So if you now use a flat hand, and where the leg strap meets the backrest of the sling, simply put your hand in so it's flat, and you can then push the sling to the base of the back. So lift the sling up and then pull Luis backwards. The top of the sling should come to around the neck level, but it can be anywhere between the neck and the shoulder blades. So now we take the leg strap and bring it between the person's leg and their cushion if they're sat on a cushion. Feed the strap under the leg, and then with this strap I pull it this way, which will pull the leg strap to the inner of the thigh. So from here, pull it round, so this blue part of the sling should be on the inner of the thigh. Now we do the same for the other leg. So bring it between the leg and the cushion, bring the strap under, and then pull it backwards, so this is on the inner of the thigh. In order to get the wheelchair closer to the vehicle, you may be required to lift the person's foot backwards on the footrest. So the main part of the lift needs to start between the door and the person's leg. So here I'm going to turn it on, get the handset, lift it up, and then we can swing this over the person's knee, lower it back down in order to connect the sling. So now we connect the sling onto the spreader bar. So both of the leg straps attach onto the center pin. And once these have attached, if you just press the up button to take it up slightly, to then attach the side straps, which come under the arm, and you should need to pull the spreader bar back in order to connect it. So that's one side. So now we're going to lift Luis off the wheelchair, just to show you how he comes out of the wheelchair in the sling. We'll move this armrest back. So you press the up button, and this will lift him in a sitting position off the wheelchair, and it may also pull him forwards in the chair as it lifts. You could see here that his head height is too tall for the car door, and I'm going to explain to him that I know his head can't go into the door, so that when I push him forwards he knows that I'm not going to hit it. So it's up to the top, take the wheelchair away, and then push the unit to the side in order to then come in and lift his feet into the vehicle. Bring the spreader bar round. The spreader bar can be used as an arrow, so it's pointing to the opposite side of the car. However I turn the spreader bar, will turn all of Luis's body, so I'm trying to keep it facing the other side of the vehicle, so I can push forwards so that his knee comes up to the glove box, rotate sideways, and if you just lean your head towards me, Luis, take him to there, lower down so that he can duck his head, lift back up and push sideways and backwards into the seat. I'm going to lower Luis all the way into the seat so that all of these straps are now loose. I'll just put the handset back down here, then you disconnect. You can see this one had already come off, so it's disconnect the arm straps first, which allows you to then pull this bar back to disconnect the leg straps, and then we're going to remove the spreader bar and the extension arm. Turn the lift off and disconnect the electrics, and then we can lift the unit off the mounting post, close the door, and then Luis is going to travel in the sling just with the normal seatbelt around him. To come out of the vehicle is a reverse of the going in process. So we connect the sling, press the up button, which will lift Luis up in the vehicle. At this point he keeps his head in the vehicle to his right, and that enables me to pull him sideways to lower his back down the door pillar. He can duck his head under the top of the door. We can then lift him back up. Then we can pull backwards and lift his feet over the sill of the car, and at this point bring the wheelchair back into position at the same angle that the door opens at. Get the control unit, come to the back of him and lift up on the back of the strap on the sling, which will pull his bottom into the back of the wheelchair. So lower all the way down. We can then disconnect the sling. We disconnect the side straps first. That enables the spreader bar to be pulled forwards to disconnect the leg straps. Lift the unit up over his knee to swing it back into the vehicle. And then we can Oppie's feet back onto the foot plates, take the brakes off the wheelchair, and then pull him away from the car. This is a video to show the correct setting of a sling. So the top of the sling at the back should come to around my neck level, but it could be anywhere between my neck and my shoulder blades. The side straps are kept as short as possible and also should be kept as high as possible underneath my armpits. The leg straps have a reasonable amount of length on, so that when I'm lifted, I should be lifted in a nice sitting position. So the more upright I am in the sling, the easier it will be to get me into the car. So here you can see that when I'm lifted, I'm in a nice sitting position. The sling is just coming to the base of my back and I'm being lifted by all of this part on the top of my leg. So here I'm going to show you an incorrect setting for the sling. So I have made the side strap far too long. What this will do is when you attach it onto the spreader bar, you can see that there is a lot of slack. When it then lifts me, it will lift my legs before the side straps become taut, and it will tip me back in the sling like you can see here. So to rectify this, we need to lower back down and shorten the side straps. Another incorrect setting for the sling is to have the leg straps far too short. This will do the same again with regard to tipping me backwards, because it's lifting my legs before it lifts the rest of my body. So to rectify this, the leg straps need to be lengthened. Here the sling is set correctly for me, but the sling hasn't been pushed all the way to the base of my back. So you can see my trousers at the side, and the sling is actually cutting across the top of my leg, so that when it lifts me and it will lift my legs first. My bottom will be out of the bottom of the sling, and all of this part of the sling isn't actually lifting me, so it's actually quite uncomfortable to sit in this position. So this is purely because the sling hasn't been pushed far enough down my back. Thank you for watching. Should you require any further information, then please contact the details on the screen.